Was it you? Were you the person that sent me the mean email about silver and gold, telling me that, look, it's getting pummeled again, like it always does, Ron? You're always talking about the price of silver and gold going higher, 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 but it just keeps getting pummeled. Well, is that the fact? Are gold and silver actually getting pummeled? Let's look at the big reasons, the big downward forces affecting the silver price and gold price right now, and see if we think these are sustained forces that will continue to press down the price of silver and gold, or can we have a new all-time high in the gold price, and that would mean much higher, much, much higher prices for silver and gold by Christmas. As I promised all of you, that will be the Ron's Basement Christmas present to you, a new all-time high in the price of gold, and we'll have a big party just like we are right now. Hey, thank you for being here. Please give this a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you like to talk about silver and gold, big factors that are going on in the world geopolitically, economically. You're in the right place. We got a lot of smart people. Look, it's a fact. I was told by Google that the average viewer of my channel is considered to be of higher intelligence. Well, that's what I saw when I looked at the analytics. Nonetheless, let's get started talking about these big factors right now that are pushing down the price of gold and silver, and will it be sustained, or will we find a new all-time high in the price? This is a big update, okay, guys, a big update. First, let's talk about what's going on right now. Consolidation. If we are indeed going to move into a new all-time highs for the gold price and new highs for the silver price, what we're seeing right now is consolidation. Yes, they're getting pummeled a little bit, okay, but hopefully this is just a consolidation phase where they are building a base to get ready to blast off, for gold in particular, into a new all-time high for the end of the year. For silver to get to 30 by the end of the year. It can happen, guys, trust me, okay? And let's talk about this. I don't know how you feel this, but to me, what's gone on in the last week or so, we've been through all these Lucy pulls the football. The rug gets pulled out from underneath the precious metals. But, does it not feel to you like this one has not been as bad? To me, it doesn't feel like the rug's been completely pulled. Like it's kind of a slow motion pull. And to me, that signifies, I don't know how you feel about this, but that there is still some sustained strength in the gold market. And let's be real, all right? I know it feels like, oh, gold is down, gold is down. We talked about getting above 2,000 by today. Instead, we're fighting for 1,940 on the gold price. But guys, that's about a $60 decrease. That's only about a 3% down move from the recent high of $2,000 per ounce. So it's not that bad. Silver's, as normal, fared a little bit worse. It usually goes up more and down more when there's a downdraft. Silver's only down, what, about 4 or 5% from its recent high mark. So things aren't that bad, but we got some other big factors. We're going to talk about the Fed. We're going to talk about a number of other big factors that temporarily, my friends, are just temporarily putting downward pressure on the metals prices. The other big factor that's coming into play this week for silver and gold is the war hedge. You know, we had the big war breakout in Israel. That did catalyze a big move up in the silver price and gold price. Seemed like silver was flirting with $24, $25. Gold, as we know, got to $2,000. That war hedge has worn off a little bit, but here's what's interesting, and all the top analysts are talking about this as well. It's just not you and I, the other top analysts. It's the other top analysts that are joining us in saying gold has actually hung in there. Remember, gold was at $1,800 per ounce not too long ago, guys. What, 5-6 weeks ago? And shot up from 1,800 to 2,000, and it didn't pull back with the immediate pullback like we saw during the Russia-Ukraine situation. Gold shot up and then immediately pulled way back. We've not seen that yet, and that is a very bullish sign. I don't know. I feel like we are in a new price range for gold and silver. This war hedge, geopolitical hedge, flight to safety, flight to whatever you want to call it. People moving their money to more safe investments, that hasn't worn off nearly as quickly as a lot of the analysts would have anticipated. Usually it's a shot up and a shot down. This time it's been a shot up and just a little pullback now. We're at 1940. I'm talking about gold, but when I talk about gold, also I'm talking about silver as well. So let's see how this plays out over the next couple weeks. It will be critical that we stay above the 1900 range, and that silver fights to stay above 2150 per ounce, so that we can move into this new territory by the end of the year. And 2024 is going to bring $2,600 gold. In my humble opinion, don't make any financial decisions based upon anything that I share with you, just my humble opinion. But we got other big factors that are at play right now, temporary factors that are at play right now for the silver and gold. And hey, all 125 of you who've joined me, thank you. It's a big deal you're here. You are important, and you are the most important part of Ron's Basement. Could you do me a little favor and give this a thumbs up? That would be very helpful. It helps us get the news out to more and more people. While we're at it, let's say thanks to our sponsor, Pimbex, P-I-M-B-E-X, as we move into 2024, and we could see substantially, and it's not just us talking about it, right? As we move into 2024, we've got all the big banks. I did a video, I need to do a refresh on that, like 8 big banks with what their predictions are for the gold price next year. A lot of them were saying $2,500, $2,600. A couple even saying $3,000 gold next year. Could you imagine that? $3,000 gold, $45 silver. Nonetheless, as we move into that environment, if you want to get your hands on some silver or gold or platinum right now, go check out Pimbex, P-I-M-B-E-X, Pimbex.com. They're an online bullion dealer. I trust them. I've worked with them. They've got great selection. And what's most important to resourceful Ron, because I like to get the most silver or the most, well, I don't buy physical gold. Told you guys that. I'm a precious metal gold mining stock investor. But if I'm going to buy some silver, I want to get the most I can. And Pimbex always has the best prices. Do your own research. Find out for yourself. Okay? I've said this many times, but I learned about Pimbex from you, my viewers. And I worked with them way before they agreed to sponsor the channel. So thank you, Pimbex. Online bullion dealer, go check them out. Let's get back to the meat of this video, because we got a lot more to talk about in terms of what is going on right now in the market. The other thing that's pushing down, it's your fault. Yes, you. It's your fault this is going on. You're most likely joining me from a Western country. Well, maybe it's not your fault, but it's your neighbor's fault. It's our cohort's fault, because Westerners are selling silver and gold. We can see that by looking at 2 key data points. Number one, talking to people that are in the retail bullion sector. People are selling silver in particular. And why are they doing that? Because the economy is horrible. People are in desperate financial conditions and needing to sell little bits of silver step by step just to make their ends meet, okay? That will change. Okay, that will absolutely change. On the bigger investment side, we can look at the ETFs, the GLD, the SLV. They are all having outflows. It's just a fact right now, guys, that Westerners are sellers of silver and gold. That'll change. That will change, okay? If you look at a graph of Westerners buying and selling silver and gold, it just doesn't go down, 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 down. No. It fluctuates. It's like the weather. So right now, while it's maybe not a good thing that our cohorts, not you and me, but our cohorts are actually selling their silver and gold, That will change. And when you look at the strong underlying factors for the silver price and gold price, we don't even need the Westerners to start buying, to turn into net buyers. We just need them to stop selling. We need it to level out, because when it levels out, there's enough support behind the silver and gold price that the prices will go much higher. Okay? We already know the value. And if those Westerners flip to becoming net buyers of silver and gold, that's what will drive next year the price of gold, for instance, to 2,600, right? Because we'll get a little bit of an improvement in sentiment, and the price of silver, 35, 40, maybe even $45 per ounce. We'll keep our eyes on that, okay? Here we go. Let's talk about the Fed, because the Fed and Jerome Powell are not our friends right now. He in the last few days has been at it again, talking. And why do people believe him? Why don't people watch what the Fed is doing? Instead, they listen to what the Fed is saying and they react to that. Let me read this to you from Kitco. Gold and silver prices are down in trading Friday in the aftermath of a U.S. monetary policy hawkish tone repeated by our old friend, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell on Thursday afternoon. So Jerome came out Thursday afternoon and he sounded hawkish, talking, okay? He didn't do anything, no, but he sounded hawkish, and all the sheeple out there who are like, oh, Jerome's gonna be, we believe whatever Jerome says. I'm telling you, guys, it's like a cheating spouse. Jerome has lied to us all so much, so many times over the last number of years. Why would we even believe? Why would people? It'd be like if you had a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a child or a parent or a friend, all right? I'm trying to give you all the options here. And that person always lied to you over and over again. And then every time they tell you, oh yeah, you know, it'd be like if you had a bad parent that said, I'm going to bring you to Disney World, and said it every year. I'm going to bring you to Disney World, and never brought you. And then every year you believe, right? It seems like a lot of the investing community, the sheeple, right? It's Friday, we can make sheep noises. The sheeple just believe whatever the Fed says. And it's a bunch of BS. Okay, you know the facts. We've covered it ad nauseum. Look at what they said about inflation. Transitory, temporary, non-existent, not a problem. Oh, it is a big problem. The big kahuna that we got from Jerome, the mother of all, nobody talks about this except me. I'm the only one that talks about unicorn fart dust and the fact that Jerome's big kahuna. You know what Jerome's big kahuna was? That like 2.5 years ago, he consistently said, we are not going to raise interest rates until the end of 2023. Well, wake up, okay, basement dwellers. We're at the end of 2023 right now. Okay, right now is when Jerome is supposed to be just starting to raise interest rates. But we know what really happened over the last 2 years. They raised rates like what, 11 times, 16 times? I lost count. But people are going to believe him, okay? Fed Chairman Powell on Thursday afternoon again leaned hawkish in his comments at an International Monetary Fund forum in Washington, D.C. I bet that was fun. He said, if it becomes appropriate to tighten U.S. monetary policy further, we will not hesitate to do so. Okay, Jerome. He added, quote, we will continue to move carefully, however, allowing us to address both the risk of being misled by a few months of data and the risk of over-tightening. Bond yields and the U.S. dollar index rose following Jerome's comments, while gold sold off. So Jerome spewed a bunch of BS, right, that I'm going to be hawkish if I have to, and oh, I'm tough, right, yeah, okay. And that made bond yields go up, that made the dollar go up, and that makes gold go down. Jerome's tough. Don't forget, right? He's a tough talker. Well, guess what, guys? Basement dwellers, thank you. Oh, thank you for the super chat. I'll tell you what, I got to try to pay for this vacation. Super chats are super appreciated. Never expected. This is all free, which is why I ask you to please give this a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's all free. I'm going to make a piece of content every day for the rest of my life, either a live stream or a video, but you'll have fun watching me deteriorate, right, over time. But that's not the fun part. The fun part is the friendship and the camaraderie. You're always welcome in the basement. And it's not me. I'm not the basement. All these other people you see commenting, people like CoinShop Chris, Jake from Jake's Custom Parts, Jim M, Annie, right? That's the fun part. You can get to know and communicate and hang out with some other awesome basement dwellers. I just torture you with these videos. Now, what was I going to say? Darn it! See, I'm getting old. I forgot I had something really big to say about Jerome. Let's see. Talking hawkish. Come on, somebody help me. There was some big point that I wanted to make. Oh, I know. This is the big point. This is the big point. You can watch me lose my memory live as well. The big point is this. Jerome's talking hawkish. He's going to raise rates. Oh, really, Jerome? Did you notice, Mr. Powell, right? Did you read the headlines that right now the interest rate alone, the interest expense alone that we're paying on the United States national debt has topped $1 trillion? Do you have a calculator there at the Federal Reserve? You might want to do some math because it's not working, okay? Maybe you're listening to Joe Biden too much, but it's not working. You can't raise rates. Have you seen the number of auto loan delinquencies, the commercial real estate delinquencies, the credit card delinquencies, the fact that people that have student loans can't pay their student loan debt? Have you factored that into the idea that you're going to raise interest rates? Oh, really? Okay. That'll be interesting to see. But nonetheless, this video is about downward pressure on silver and gold. That contributed to this recent, probably today, downfall that we got. Hello, Sassy Silver. Hello, Andy Oakley, in the silver and gold price. What else is killing gold and silver? Here comes. Are you ready for some tinfoil hat conspiracy theory? Because I'm going to give it to you right now. This was actually the impetus, the driver behind this video, okay? This is just an opinion. It's a little bit out there, but I really do believe this could be one of the factors keeping down the silver price and the gold price. Why is it? Do you ever ask yourself, have you noticed anytime silver and gold start to do well, that the crypto world kind of erupts at the same time? And then suddenly there's all these stories about Bitcoin and BlackRock and crypto and XRP and blah, 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 blah. I'm telling you, and I want you to think about this and tell me if you think I'm crazy. I don't care. I had to look this up. I think that the powers that be, the people that want to suppress the silver price and gold price, right? And that would be the U.S. government. I think that's been proven that they want to suppress the silver and gold price, right? That would be the Federal Reserve. Who else do I have written on here? That would be, hold on a second. Seems like dollar dominance. Okay, I'm losing it. Okay, they're using the cryptocurrencies as a pressure release tank. You know, on your hot water heater, at least where I live in St. Louis, they make you put these tanks outside the hot water tank where if the water heats up too much, the pressure goes into this tank. I think it's very possible that the powers that be are using crypto as a place to siphon off funds that they know would be going into silver and gold. Maybe again, I know it's a bit of a conspiracy type theory, but I've said this now for several years, and I believe it to be the case. Let me read my notes I wrote down here, because we know, this is critical to this idea that the world central banks, thank you, Daniel, for the super chat. And I missed another super chat. Whoever I missed, I apologize. Thank you for the super chat. Never expected, always appreciated. I've said this for several years. I believe they're using crypto as a way to siphon money away from the silver and gold market. because the very powerful forces of the world, right, that are behind the US dollar don't want silver and gold to go higher. Right? It seems to me that that's the case. I'm not saying I'm 100% certain of that. I have no proof of that, but it sure feels that way. And when we look at the fact that the world central banks, except for the ones that are aligned with this Western dollar-based system, all the other central banks in the world are buying gold and silver hand over fist. It just doesn't make sense. It's not, they aren't buying Bitcoin, they aren't buying XRP, they aren't buying other cryptos. No, they're buying gold and silver. And I think that the powers that be are afraid and are using crypto as like a hot water heater expansion tank. Okay, makes me wonder. Okay, if the powers that be have an interest in suppressing the gold and silver price, they're diverting money. That's the other word we got here, that would otherwise be going into the silver and gold sector. You know what I'm saying? And is that why we're seeing Westerners being net sellers of the precious metals? I don't know. The other reason that we can attribute this downdraft in the silver and gold price, quite frankly, which kind of goes along with what I just said, is the COMEX and the LBMA, the London Bullion Market Association, that rig the price of silver and gold. Okay, there's a great book on it on Amazon called Rigged, that I've actually interviewed the author of that book. They've been rigging the price for a long, long time. We know because there has been decades. There are people who spend decades of their life researching and proving the fact that the silver and gold price are rigged, are suppressed. Okay, that they're using now, I think Bitcoin and crypto as a way to divert money away from it. But nonetheless, one cannot coherently argue the fact that the silver and gold price have been manipulated, have been rigged to the downward side for years and years and years. Okay, what do we know about JP Morgan? Right, we know that in the last year, several JP Morgan Chase traders were convicted of price manipulation in the precious metals market, spoofing, right? If they wanted to buy a bunch of gold or silver, let's say, they would put out hundreds and hundreds of fake orders, sell orders. They want to buy, so they create a multitude of fake sell orders and enter them into the system so that other people that want to sell freak out and say, oh my God, everybody's selling, everybody's going to sell. And that so that other legitimate sellers would then take a much lower price for their metals. They did the same thing in opposite if they wanted to buy. Okay, it's been proven, it was proven in court. If it can be proven in court, when you know those JP Morgan Chase traders had the best defense attorneys money can buy, then you know that's just the tip of the iceberg. I can't prove that it's the tip of the iceberg, but common sense, right? When you think about the fact that you know the point that they just got those few people convicted, that would tell me that there's a lot more. You know it, I know it, there's a lot more going on, okay? Now, if you want to get some reals, you don't want, that's paper, unicorn fart dust, silver and gold. If you want to get some real silver, real gold, go to Pimbex. If you want to own a company, a stock in a company that has millions of ounces of gold in the ground in Canada, please check out the other channel sponsor, First Mining Gold, firstmininggold.com. Do some research on the company. You'll find they've got almost 13 million ounces of gold in the ground in Canada. If you have any questions, please reach out to Paul Morris. Okay, his email address is in the description of this and every other video. And guys, big news. The website continues to evolve thanks to our friend .com Don. You can go to www.ronsbasement.com. You can see we're not officially ready to launch the chat room yet, but you can check it out. Okay, there's some stuff up there. We got a lot of exciting things going on at ronsbasement.com. www.ronsbasement.com. Can we get to 100 thumbs up before I got to sign off? It's our last day here. This will be the last day that I come to you from the balcony. I appreciate you being flexible with me. Don't worry, I'll have big, giant stuffed teddy bears behind me. Before you know it, blindfolded teddy bears. Okay? 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 Oh, we got a comment here. Gold and silver down again today and again Monday. It could happen. Absolutely. Right? Right? Yes, gold and silver are down. We just went through a number of factors why gold and silver are down, right? The flight to safety component kind of wearing off a little bit, but wearing off much more slowly than most people would think. The Fed coming out with a bunch of hawkish talk. I won't call it BS. I'll let you call it BS. Let me ask you a question. In the comments, type 5 if you think Jerome Powell is full of it, okay? Is just talking, okay? If you think that it's true, if you think we're going to have higher interest rates in the coming year, type 10. I'll be curious. Wow, we got a bunch of 5s. Wow, wow, wow. Look at that. Yeah, we got a count. Wow, yeah, I don't believe it. They can't mathematically, they can't raise rates. Okay? Look, the underlying thesis for silver and gold, in my opinion, remains intact. We'll see what plays out. We'll see how things go here into the end of the year. I'm still very optimistic that we can get a new all-time high for gold by the end of the year. Yes, and another comment came through. Don't look at the spot price. It's unicorn fart dust. Yeah, we talked about that. Okay, we got some 10s. We got some 10s. We got some double 5s. Some people do think we're going to have higher interest rates. Even if they do raise interest rates, that's going to be in nominal terms. The real effect, right, is going to be dilution in the end. They're going to dilute the currency. They're going to have to, one way or the other, continue to dilute the US dollar and inflate away the debt. There's no other way that the system continues. It just doesn't work unless suddenly our elected officials become austere. Hey, we got 100 thumbs up. I rang it with my knuckles. Thank you guys for all the thumbs up. Listen, have a great day. I got to go spend some time with my daughters. I appreciate everyone being here. I appreciate, especially in what's been a difficult few days within the silver and gold market. Hang in there, okay? Hang in there. It's going to get better, all right? And I will see you soon. And soon I'll be back live from the basement itself. Take care. Thank you.